What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Renee with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This evening, we got a brother on the phone by the name of Eric Amado. Um, Scrolling through, the powers that be, I came up on what was going on with bro, and we trying to see, we're gonna find out more about that. See if we can get him some assistance and figure out how we can support him. So let's jump into it. All right. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
How about yourself?
Good. Okay. Peace to prison radio listeners. Again, my name is Eric Amado, ERICAMADO, inmate number 220440. So I'd like to start out. I've been wrongfully convicted and incarcerated for years in the state of Connecticut prison system. But first, I would like to thank host and journalist Jay Renee and her Instagram platform, prison_right_radio, for giving me this opportunity to share this unjust conviction with her followers. Thank you, Jay Renee. I was drawn by your platform, seeing that you're staying very active and busy out there bringing attention to situations that are unjust and needed to be amplified. Kudos to you for that. All right, appreciate you. So, briefly, at the time of my offense, I was 23 years old as a first-time offender and was given life without parole. I'm now 58 years old. In 1993, I was successfully charged, maliciously prosecuted, and unjustly convicted of capital felony murder. Due to the numerous stages of repetitive, ineffective assistance of counsel, I've been denied fair access to the court in a meaningful manner. Therefore, I'm still standing unjustly convicted of the crime. The main focus of my conviction stems from a shooting event dated October 19, 1990. My sole defense at trial was self-defense. The state's theory at the trial was that I arrived at the deceased's residence in an attempt to rob back property stolen from a premises the night before where I stored property of my own. Some property that was stolen from me was legal and some property was contraband, drugs back then. Nonetheless, throughout the trial, the state continued to claim that I was a trespasser, intruder, and an uninvited guest upon the premises of the deceased. The defense remained steadfast that I was legally entitled to defend myself against any threat or intended threat of great bodily harm. Thereafter, both the defense and the state prosecution rested our cases. The jury was instructed by the court to deliberate the facts that had been heard. On the date of October 27, 1993, the jury came back with a note marked Exhibit 4, asking the trial court, when would the right to self-defense apply to uninvited individuals who came onto the William Street property? The court proceeded to instruct the jury that I was a trespasser, intruder, and an uninvited guest. The jury went back to deliberate and eventually came back with a guilty verdict. Now, speeding up to present day, approximately 2 to 3 years ago, I received newly discovered evidence from a subsequent jury trial of a co-defendant from the date of March 16, 1995, 30 years ago, in which the state star witness under oath testified that the homeowner of the premises invited me inside the house to talk. This newly discovered testimony on transcript of the state's witness proves that I was an invited guest inside the house of the homeowner opposed to a trespasser, intruder, or uninvited guest, in which was repeated, continuously over and over and over throughout my trial by the court and the state prosecutor. And so I started to take a step inside the house with the homeowner. Another guest already inside the hallway was motioning towards his waistband, started pulling out what evidence now says it was a .45 caliber automatic handgun and pointed in my direction. Due to the narrow and tight hallway space, I was unable to retreat in a full safety, and therefore I was forced to defend myself from being shot by the homeowner's guests within the hallway. This new information of my invite inside the house it was critical to my innocence. But by law, it was the duty and the ongoing duty of the state to turn this valuable information over to the defense in 1995, even 2 years after my trial. Even more importantly, the key to this new discovered evidence goes to the heart of my conviction, because we now know what the jury was thinking with their jury note. And if the jury would have known during deliberation that I was an invited guest by the homeowner of the premises, opposed to an uninvited guest, the outcome of the verdict would have been majorly different and in favor by the jury's note. I would have been found not guilty. Most recently, I filed a commutation application with the Connecticut Board of Pardons and Parole January 28th, 2022. March 8th, 2022, the application was reviewed and approved for a full hearing scheduled March 26th, 2022. On March 26, 2022, it was postponed, and eventually the board, it just made up a new policy, and it made me ineligible for a commutation hearing. So I've been fighting all the way around. And my hopes are that sharing my story with the followers of Prison Riot Radio, that you all help mobilize a campaign by getting involved, sharing my story, and directly reaching out to any legal organization, legal law clinic, Connecticut seated officials, Connecticut District Attorney's Office, Connecticut Public Defender's Innocence Project, and Hartford, Connecticut, New York, Mass, or Connecticut law clinics that practice law in Connecticut. Whatever advocacy, I would be appreciative just to get a second look on this long overdue unjust conviction. This is an unjust conviction, but can be corrected with your help. Thank you for your time, and I would like to thank Jay Renee from Prison Radio, Riot Radio, once again, for her wonderful platform to have my voice heard. And also a shout out of gratitude for my cousin Sholey on IG at Sholey54 for also using this platform to share my story as well. Any other platforms that may be able to be used, please contact me directly. Again, Eric Amado, ERICAMADO, and you can write me. My prison inmate number is 220440, and I'm at 50 Nunnawick Road, NUNNAWAUK Road, Newtown, Connecticut 06470, or you could contact me free prison messaging at securistech.net. Again, Eric Amado. Thank you. I'm out. Peace.